Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants have reached a contract deal at the last minute that will allow Barkley to practice with his teammates on Wednesday as the Giants open 2023 training camp. A bit of a surprising development. Ed Valentine of Big Blue View here with Valentine's views on the last minute Barkley Giants 1-year deal that will bring Barkley to training camp and the potential distraction of a Barkley training camp holdout. From my perspective, this is absolutely 100% a huge win for the New York Giants. General Manager Joe Schoen and the Barkley representatives apparently continued to negotiate after the July 17 franchise tag deadline, continued to talk about the possibility of a 1-year deal that would be a little bit different from the franchise tag. And what they've ended up with here, according to reports, is a deal that really comes in at numbers that are all good for the New York Giants. This is a 1-year deal, $10.1 million. Basically, it's the franchise tag. I'm not 100% clear as to whether or not Saquon is still considered a franchise tag player, but the deal is $10.1 million fully guaranteed, including a $2 million upfront signing bonus. So Barkley gets a check right away for $2 million. He gets about $1 million in contract incentives, including 1,300 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 65 pass receptions, all of which are reachable numbers for Barkley. He had more than 1,300 yards rushing last year. He had 10 touchdowns, so that's just one more. And he had 57 receptions, so that is within striking distance of 65. So Joe Schoen, the other thing about the deal is we have reports that the incentives are tied to the playoffs. Now, one thing I'm not clear on is whether or not that means that the Giants have to make the playoffs, for Barkley to get his incentives, or whether the tied to the playoffs means that Barkley's statistics will count. His playoff statistics, if the Giants reached the playoffs, would count toward those yardage, touchdown, and reception totals. I've reached out to some people. Hopefully I'll get an answer. And if I do get an answer, I will post that at bigblueview.com for you guys as we continue to react to the situation. But as I said, I see this as a huge win for Joe Schoen. He gets Barkley in camp day one, avoiding a holdout, avoiding his best offensive player, possibly skipping games in the regular season. He avoids the distraction of the players in camp being constantly asked about Barkley, constantly talking about Barkley behind the scenes, and whatever impact that might have had on the Giants' 2023 season. He does so at his number. Reports before the franchise tag deadline were that Schoen was offering Barkley something along the lines of $11 million, down from 12.5 or 13 that he had offered him the bye week and early in the offseason. But the number was at about $11 million with potentially $23 million guaranteed. So it would have been $11 million for Barkley in 2023. And even if Saquon reaches all of his incentives, the Giants will get Barkley for $11 million in 2023. So Joe Schoen, who always said, going way back to the beginning of the offseason, that he had a walkaway number, gets Saquon Barkley for 1 year at his walkaway number. There are a couple of other reasons why this is a win for the Giants. According to reports from Adam Schefter, there is no clause in this revised deal that says that the Giants will not franchise tag Barkley again next season. That apparently is something that Barkley and his reps wanted but didn't get. So the franchise tag is still available for the Giants to use in 2024. Reports are that that would be at the second year franchise tag value of 12.1 million. And the other reason why this is a win for both sides is that this sort of keeps alive the idea, the possibility that Barkley could be a Giant long term after 2023, 2024, maybe into 2025. I also see this as a win for Barkley, but less so than as a win for the Giants. Saquon, if you've been paying attention, if you've listened to what he said, read what he said, Saquon is very, very concerned about his reputation. He's very concerned about not being considered greedy, about not being considered a selfish athlete. And I think that this deal, getting into camp on day one, not going through a holdout that really wasn't going to gain him anything, this deal allows him to come out of here not looking greedy. This deal allows him to come out looking like a team first guy, like a leader in a locker room that he wants to be, and allows the Giants to move forward with the 2023 season. So I think it's a win-win for both sides, and Saquon Barkley gets Giants camp off to an optimistic start with the announcement of a deal that means he will be reporting on day one of training camp, which is Wednesday in East Rutherford, New Jersey. All right, Giants fans, that's just a quick update, quick reaction on the Barkley news, the Barkley situation. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts across the Big Blue View Radio Network. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please stay safe out there, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.